Well, the lush green background and the kids that you see belong to Sangedi village in Nagapattinam district of Tamil Nadu. And I'm fortunate to have Poongkothai Chandrahasan here for KayCee's ViewSpot. Poongkothai has made herself a name as a documentarian, but she is a girl of many talents. She's an actress, model, I think I need to put on my specs here, script writer, a web designer, social and animal welfare activist, and soon to become a director, and also the head of an NGO, and many more. I would kindly refer the viewer to an earlier interview that I had taken of her. So if you want to know more about her, please go and view that. Just a minute. I'm sorry about, I think I need to edit that portion, but anyway, Poongkothai, thanks for agreeing to do this interview. I've got 3 questions for you. And if time permits, maybe a little more, okay?
Sure.
Let's start with a very serious question on a serious issue. As someone closely associated with Sri Lanka and the Sri Lankan Tamils, how do you see the situation there at present, and what would you like to see happening there, especially for the IDPs and the Sri Lankan Tamil refugees?
Okay. So, well, hello first, and basically, where I see the situation with the Sri Lankan issue is that while everybody sees that there is peace in Sri Lanka in 2009, just yesterday we were at a refugee camp, and today these children are from the tsunami affected villages, but the refugee camp, when we were talking to people, and they were saying how there was a peace process in 2009, and they were so excited after so many years they can finally go home, but some of them did try to go back immediately, and they had to come back to India because things were so bad. This is their homeland. They waited for peace for so many years, and they cannot go back because the government of Sri Lanka is not making it very easy for people to be resettled. There is already 300,000 IDPs right after the war, and they needed to be resettled first, but we also have about 80,000 refugees living in India, and they have been here since 1990, most of them, and that is 20 years living in a 10 by 10 temporary shed made of a thatched roof.
Yes.
20 years, that's how they've lived, and they're dying to go home. So I think the most important thing that the government should be focusing on would be to resettle them, give these people back their lives, let them go back to their country, let their kids go back to schools, let them have some semblance of a normal life, because they've lived as refugees, a temporary life for 20 years.
Okay. So that's what you would want.
That's what I think is more important even than a political situation at this point. Because first of all, let people start their lives again. And then yes, we do definitely need a political situation which makes the Tamil man feel that he's safe in his own country.
Okay, and let's hope that comes about soon and that they do the requisite things necessary. I think they need some started life. They can't just go back.
Right, that's the thing. Now when people, when you talk of resettlement, it's not just about putting them back in their houses. You have to give them, it's a war-torn country, so it's their houses are broken, they're bombed. When they go back, they need money to rebuild. There's no schools, there's no electricity, there's no water, there's so much of infrastructure, there are no roads. So all that has to be done as well. And we need a government that is going to do that for its people. And the Sri Lankan Tamils are also Sri Lankans and therefore part of the people of that country. So
yeah, I really hope that this comes about soon because they waited long enough.
They have waited long enough.
Okay, the next one is you're very into visual media, first as an actress and then as a documentary maker. Can you share with the viewer what you've done, doing and plan to do where media and movie making are concerned?
Okay. Well, basically, I have worked quite a lot in the media. I did a couple of internships as a student. I've studied film. I worked with PC Sriram. I acted in a movie called Vanam Vasapadam. But I was also behind the I worked as an assistant to him so as to learn cinematography and filmmaking. I have been making documentary films. I worked with Walter Cronkite and Ward in Washington, D.C. I apprenticed there. So I worked as an assistant director to well-known screenwriter, scriptwriter Chetan Shah. So, and then I started making my own films, and I've been making documentary films. And so basically the documentary films are always on issues, like I made one with all these guys, like these kids.
Okay.
So these are all tsunami kids. So the film was about how like all these kids need money to for their coaching center to be run. So we done a film on that. So some of the kids that we've seen like were actually in the film. I make a lot of basically human interest films about people, about politics, about nothing to do with companies and money and that sort of thing. All about people like this who are in need and who are beautiful people.
Hey, that's great. And you are the head of an NGO. Can you talk more about it? What you do? What you're planning to do?
So I've started an organization, and it's mainly because of kids like these that I've met over many years of making documentary films, and they're beautiful, beautiful children. And it's so difficult for them to go to school because like while government schools are free, it is very difficult for their parents to afford uniforms, afford shoes, afford anything for them to go to school. So we basically facilitate all of that. It's a very small thing that I started with my friend. It's just because we cared and we wanted to do something, and why wait for somebody else to do it? Let's do it ourselves. So we started it, and we're helping some of the kids here also in the tsunami. We fund some of the kids in the tsunami areas. We fund HIV affected children. We fund Sri Lankan Tamil refugee children, the most underprivileged children that, and it's been great. So we give them their uniform, shoes, notebooks, we give them a nutritious meal, and it is totally fulfilling. As you can see, they're adorable and very naughty, and they're actually being quiet today.
Okay, it looks like a lot more people want to be in the film, but we'll give them a chance a little later. I think you've just been placed on the cover of India Today. Can you talk about it?
That is the Chennai version of
you can tell us a little more about it.
Oh, that's terribly embarrassing.
No.
No, it's... Well,
okay, if you don't want to answer that.
No, it's fine. It's just like, I mean, I guess they were featuring people like Revati and Shobna and women who are over 30, and I've just reached that age. So, who have achieved stuff and who are still not married and, like concentrating on their careers and stuff like that. So that's basically what the article is about. So it features like the Shobnas and the Revatis and the Mallika Sharawats and all these women.
But you're on the cover.
On the South
When
Indian.
is it due?
I think it should be out in December, I guess.
Okay, in December. I've seen you interacting with the kids over the past few days, and you're a natural where they're concerned. Maybe you can interact a little and show us what you do, how you get along with them.
Sure. All of them want to be in the frame.
Yeah.
Picture la irukunulla. Seri ellarum vandu Baba solunga. Baba theriyumla? Okay, come on, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Baba.
What is that actually for those who don't know?
Baba enna solunga. Idu enna? Rajni padona solunga. Rajini Rajnikant was a famous symbol, like, so.
Okay, I'd like you to voice some of the issues that concern you, which I maybe not have covered here.
Actually, it's a good thing that we have the kids here, because maybe we can ask maybe a parent or someone to just give like a bite that, how difficult it is for an Indian like these are all Indian children, and they're, our responsibility, and, like right now they were saying how difficult it is for them to send their children. These children are from a Dalit village and they've been tsunami hit, and you know, like right now they're going to take us to show us how they live in these thatch roof houses, and they don't even have a cement floor. It's mud. And you know, and look at them, they're so bright and happy and cute anyways, right? But I mean, I just feel that we should be helping them and, you know, making sure they go to school, because it's so difficult for some of them. So, you know, like they'd have just one pair of uniforms, or, you know, I mean, it's terrible what they have to go through, and they don't get enough food at home. And yeah, so
maybe you can ask them some questions and translate also.
Sure, definitely. Ningla school போறீங்கல்ல? உங்க அம்மா யாராச்சும் இருக்காங்களா இங்க? யாராச்சும் அம்மா யாராச்சும் இருக்காங்களா இங்க? வாங்க வாங்க, நீங்க வாங்க. இருக்காங்க, அந்த அம்மா இருக்காங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ இப்போ நீங்க கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க, உங்க பசங்களை வந்து ஸ்கூலுக்கு அனுப்புறது வந்து கஷ்டமா இருக்கா? கஷ்டம் தான். அவங்களுக்கு யூனிஃபார்ம் வாங்குறது அந்த 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 சரி, இந்த பையனுக்கு வந்து யூனிஃபார்ம் இருக்கா?
யூனிஃபார்ம் 3 பேருக்கு இப்போதான் காசு வாங்குறாங்க பள்ளிக்கூடத்துல. இப்போ கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்கு. போயிட்டு வந்து பள்ளிக்கூடத்துல தான் கொடுக்குறோம்.
Okay, so she's saying basically that it's really difficult, and she has 3 children, and she has to, நீங்க வந்து agriculture வேலை தான் பண்றீங்க இல்லையா? So they go for this kind of agricultural work, and they get ஒரு 70 rupees தானே, 70 ரூபாய் தான். So 70 rupees a day, and that's not always constant. So you know, and she has 3 children, so only now she's got the uniform, she's saying. அப்ப notebooks எல்லாம் வாங்குறது வந்து காசு தான்.
3 புக் 4 புக் சும்மா தருவாங்க. இதெல்லாம் நம்ம தான்
நீங்க தான் வாங்கணும்ல. யூனிஃபார்ம் கூட அவங்க தரல, நீங்க தான் வாங்கணும்ல. So they have to buy.
ஆனா பத்தாதா இருக்கும்.
சின்ன சின்னதா
பத்தாது. பெரிய பசங்களுக்குலாம்
பத்தாது.
பத்தாதா இருக்கும்.
அது இந்த பட்டன் எல்லாம் அப்படியே ஒரு நாளைக்கு போட்டோம்னா எல்லாம் ஆரம்பிட்டு போடும். அத ஒதுக்கி போட்டு நம்மளா காசு கொடுத்து வேற வாங்குவோம்.
Okay, so they're saying even if they give them a uniform, like the buttons come off, everything is broken, and they have to pay their own money and have to, and ஒரு யூனிஃபார்ம் செட் வந்து எவ்வளோ? ஒரு 10th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் பையன் அப்படி யூனிஃபார்ம் தைக்கணும். 10th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்
சின்ன பையன்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி 250 200 கூட வருது. கையகுளே 100 ரூபாய் 150 ரூபாய் வருது. 150 ரூபாய் 250 ரூபாய் இது 250 ரூபாயா? ஆமா ஆமா, சாரி.
அந்த பையன் சொல்லுங்க, நீங்க எந்த கிளாஸ்ல படிக்கிறீங்க? 10th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட். So he's studying in 10th standard. Okay, உங்களுக்கு வந்து இப்போ படிக்கிறது வந்து கஷ்டமா இருக்கா? யூனிஃபார்ம் வாங்குறது, இந்த மாதிரி ஃபீஸ் அதெல்லாம் அது ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்குல்ல? ஓகே, ஸோ உங்களுக்கு வந்து இப்போ ஒரு செட் யூனிஃபார்ம் இருக்கா இல்ல 2 செட் இருக்கா? This is the problem. This child has 1 uniform, and
போறப்ப துவைச்சு காய போட்டு உடனே ஈரமாவே எடுத்து போட்டு ஓடும்.
yeah, so what she's saying is that he has to wear that 1 uniform every single day, right? So they wash it, and it won't dry in time, and he'll wear the wet uniform and go to school the next day. That is the kind of thing that, you know, these are the kind of stories that I heard that made me start us to our foundation.
Your foundation is planning to do stuff like giving uniforms.
Yeah, 2 sets of uniforms.
Okay.
You know, we give them their notebooks, because otherwise what happens is that when these boys in desperation, they will go and start doing like some kind of child labor.
Okay.
They will go and deliver milk. Then they don't have a childhood. They'll work in the morning, they'll go to school, then they come back and work again. So we need to avoid that. We need to take care of our own, you know, children like these. So yeah.
Okay. I think your foundation is going to do a lot of good work. It has just started, I guess.
2008. So
2008.
actually,
Okay.
some of these children are also children that we funded through our Sitwa Foundation in the tsunami areas.
Okay. And I wish your foundation all success in getting the right donation and then giving it for the causes that you've planned it for. And let's have a group photo, maybe within 1.5 minutes.
இங்க இருக்கிற எல்லா பிள்ளைங்களுமே சரிதான். அப்பா அம்மா இருக்கிற பிள்ளைகளும் சரி, இல்லாத பிள்ளைங்களும் சரி, எல்லா பிள்ளைகளும் கஷ்டப்படுற பிள்ளைங்க தான். 70 ரூபாய் தான் சம்பளம் இங்க.
So she's saying all these children who are going through so much difficulty, they get 70 rupees.
கர்த்தருக்கு ஸ்தோத்திரம்.
And she's saying I'm not lying. No, இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்றேன் உங்களுக்கு.
சரி, ரைட். தெரியுதுங்க எனக்கு. வீட்டெல்லாம் நீங்க போய் பாருங்க. எல்லா ஏரியாவிலயும் பாருங்க, எங்க ஏரியாவிலயும் போய் பாருங்க. அது வந்து சுனாமில எல்லாம் எதுவுமே பாதிக்கலன்ட்டு தான் இப்ப நம்ம ஆஃபர் தான் வந்து செஞ்சுச்சு. சுனாமில எங்களுக்கு எது பாதிக்கலன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. ஆனா எங்க ஆஃபர் தான் வந்து எங்களுக்கு எல்லா உதவியும் இது வரலையும் எனக்கும் வீட்டுக்காரங்க இறந்து போய் 8 வருஷம் ஆகுது. 2002ல இறந்து போயிட்டாங்க. இது வரையும் கவர்மெண்ட் உதவியே கிடையாது. எனக்கு இந்த ஆஃபர்ல தான் செஞ்சிருக்காங்க எங்க பிள்ளைங்க எல்லாம். படிக்கிற வெளியில போய்
What she has said is that the offer is the only NGO
எனக்கு ஒய்ஃபை பண்ண தராங்களா மாசம் 400 ரூபாய் அதுவும் கிடையாது
that has helped her.
அதே அதுலயே நான் வேலைக்கும் போக மாட்டேன் கேட்டு பாருங்க அம்மாவுக்கு 400 ரூபாய் பணம் வரும் எங்க அம்மாவுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு ஆம்பளை குழந்தை கிடையாது அதை வச்சே அப்படியே நான்
Okay, I will leave Poongo to listen to their issues. And thank you, Poongo, for the interview.
எல்லாருக்குமே கஷ்டம் தான்
வந்து பாருங்க
பாருங்க வீட்டெல்லாம்